Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and I'm going to be showing how the Wezil 1 fire alarm control panel works. I don't have it all labeled yet. This is the reset switch. I recommend keeping it off for long amounts of times, as this can has 4 zones, but you can connect hundreds and hundreds of devices onto this system, as long as it doesn't surpass 6 amps of power usage. Well, you can upgrade it if you get a bigger fuse. Right now this fuse is 6 amps, but you can upgrade it to basically anything you want. But I have it plugged into a 15 amp outlet. It runs up to here, and when I switch this off, the system goes into a trouble. You can hear the buzzer going off. Fault. If buzzer on, inspect system. The main board is plugged into here. I don't have it set up entirely properly yet, so it just kind of doesn't go into fault if it loses power. But the thing is, it runs into this little thing which I've tested can keep the system powered on for hours. I think it can probably go for 4 days, keeping the main motherboard powered. I'll show you how the internals of this, how the internals work, and what this transformer here is used for. So let me pull these off. This is kind of gonna, well, I guess I should finish saying what these are for. This is the ground fault light. This will light up if there's a ground fault. This is to silence the NAC. It's currently on the on position, on, off. If I were to flick it here and test the system, the bells or whatever you have attached to it wouldn't go off. This is a 24 volt system though. There is other settings on here. You can switch it to 12 or 6 volts, but I really just recommend 24 volts as it's the most common one. This is drill. You push this for 1 second and it'll set the system into a drill mode. Let's turn NAC off. This is for walk test. This is basically the control for a latching relay. In the up position, the relay will latch when the system goes off. In the down, the system will only go off for as long as the device is in the alarm condition. But if this is up, if like the smoke detector goes off, this system cuts the power from the smoke detector to send all the power to the bells. And with this up, it'll keep the relay latched, keeping the bells permanently on until you reset it. If you keep it down though, it unlatches the relay, keeps the relay unlatched when it goes into alarm, keeping the device in the alarm state, but also half prioritizing the bell. So it'll still feed power to the device that went into alarm, and it'll still keep the belts going, but you won't be able to have as many belts on. So that's it on this one, and I guess I'll show the annunciator. So this is annunciator compatible. You can connect this up to an annunciator, which if we go out here, I have one right here. It has ground fault as well, and the reset switch. This here is not to set the fire alarms off. If the bells are going off and you don't have access to the main system, you can just silence this. I don't have it installed yet, but I'm going to have a switch in the main system that can override this switch. I just don't have it yet. It will also override. There will also be an override for this as well. Now, you guys may or may not be dying to see the insides of this panel. So, I'm gonna take this screw out. It kind of gets pushed open. The Wezil 2 I have made is absolutely faulty. This one kind of run off a breadboard. This is all the wiring back here. I'll also take this cover off to show the thing here. So this is what happens. It goes from the plug into this, which I can control this, which you can shut down the system. It then runs to this one, runs to the backup battery, then it runs to power the Arduino in there, which is coded to do code 3, and that turns on and off this relay for the alarm thing. This wire goes to this transformer. It steps it down from 124 volts AC to 24 volts AC, which then runs to this, which converts it to DC, charges the batteries, well, kind of, hasn't been working properly, and then feeds the power to the system. I also have here this wire, which comes through, connecting to the 120 things here. That's the negative. These things here are the positive. It runs all the way up to this transformer. I wouldn't really touch this one, because since there's a lot of exposed stuff, and then exposed capacitors, which would probably shock you. It steps it down to 12 volts, which then it runs through and powers this relay. If I were to turn it off, this transformer would no longer create stuff, turning off this relay, setting the system into trouble. And if I actually keep this off for long enough, let's see if I can discharge it. This will actually make a sound. I guess I need to give it a tad. I'll just keep it off for a bit, but detach the buzzer. We'll come back to this in a bit. I'll show you all what happens inside here when I set the system into alarm. I will be doing it with NAC off. So this can hold 4 zones, like I said earlier. It is expandable for more zones, but right now I only have it built for 4. I'm using 3 of the 4 zones, and this is a zone here, just this one detector where my bedroom's going to be. I believe I have the system on. Yes, I do. That I think is zone. I think this one is zone 2. Zone 1 is in here. I'll turn the lights on. I have this detector. It's a pretty old detector, it's about 28 or 29 years old, probably installed in the 1990s from when I got from a school that they were changing out the system from. I have this Edwards heat detector. I'm not sure if this is a recalled one, but it works. It's a fixed temp and rate of rise. I have your system sensor i3. This is a conventional system, by the way. It's not addressable. You cannot hook up addressable devices to this at all. This is zone 3. I have a smoke detector there. It's photoelectric. I have a heat detector there, right by the breaker panel, because I want to, be able to detect the heat from wires while also smoke. That's why I also have a smoke here. This is a fixed temp end rate of rise. It's your normal standard one, not for industrial uses. Back onto zone 1, I have a 270 SPO-E. Well, after 270 SPO, it has an E, so yeah. And I have another one over there, which is opened up. Let's see if I can show it. That probably can't see it, but it says 270-SPOE. It's so old that it's faded away. Can kind of see like the wording there. Anyway, that's the zone. I'm keeping this down so I can test the system later. And for alarm devices, I have an Edwards bell from the 1990s. That's a big one. I have a small one where this room's going to be. And over there where zone 3 is, that's going to be a spare bedroom. There's another bell there. There's going to be another bell on the other side of the wall, about probably there, for the main part of the house. And that's pretty much it for the initiating devices. Oh, I also, if you guys were looking at this earlier, for my room, I have a DSC Neo. I have some wires prepared for when the drywall goes up. You can see it's not ready at all for full use. I have it all running back to here, where all of my 60-ish keys are on one thing. And let's see if this thing will click now. There. You heard it there. I like the sound of that, not gonna lie. Some people may think it's bad, but it's only because, let's not touch that with this. It's only because this is the second transformer. It's kinda not used really, since it's attached straight to those, which is also attached straight to this. So it pretty much goes, you can have positive or negative here. Doesn't really matter because it's AC. This one is dedicated for this one, and this one's dedicated for this one. You can detach that bar there to make it so it's on its own separate stuff. Don't worry, I don't actually have this close. It just looks like it does. So it will go into there, do its all loops or whatever, and come back to there. Then the loops here will go from there, loops like that. This one here will go to, it actually goes at this one, up through this wire here to this paddle like thing, and once that's clicked down, it does all the loops down in there, and then to here, then the loops again there, and then to there, while it goes whoop 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 whoop. So that's how that works. That's why it makes the click. Now let's put this cover back on, but not upside down. Yes, I do have this grounded because I like to have my things grounded. And I have the wires coming in through this thing here. I don't have it too close together here. Oh, here's a kind of a diagram there. If you guys want to take a look at how that works. I have this black wire or load kind of detached so I can measure amperage. And that's pretty much going to be it for this video for the showcase. I do have some tests up on YouTube for the Wezil one. So I guess I'll see you in the next video.